Oh crap, 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 oh crap. What up? This is Mage from Mage Gaming with you today, and this is going to be the introduction video to the entire channel, where I will tell you, personally me, because I'm currently the only member on the team, how this channel is going to work. Firstly, the team. Everybody in the team is, well, awesome, because I'm the only person in the team. Everybody else who I've talked to who wants to do it is probably just waiting to see how exactly the channel works. Just like you are, whether or not you're a potential member or just a potential viewer. I'm going to be explaining to you exactly how this works. And I'll probably be doing it with Doom 3, even though I've never played it. I'm a Jungian by nature, Carl Gustav Jung, especially his concept of archetypes and the self, you know, the shadow and whatnot. Of course, I have more or less fallen into Northrop Frye, who's just awesome. He seems to be ever present in any dealings I've had with novels and such. He has been especially useful in my learning to remove a work from its context. An example of this is in a near-death poet. Say they come out with a few poems after learning that they're almost dead, they're about to die. He basically says that the poems don't have to be read with the thought in your head that, okay, this is by a poet that's about to die. I take it a step farther. I think that any piece of work like that, any book thus far, but it's going to be video games, doesn't just have to be taken out of context, but it has to be put back in afterwards. When you take it out of context, you have to look at it by itself with no strings attached, and from there, you get the message. After it has been understood, you must return it to its original context to understand what it means. For example, the simple link that video games are for enjoyment creates a direct link between subject matter, zombies, aliens, whoever the bad guy is and why, and entertainment. This gives us a nice, clean, and simple snapshot of the culture. In this, we see that a game like Doom 3, which probably will never be reviewed or played by me, as I can't handle the burning hallways and creepy mirrors, can say a lot about government, heroism, and fear. The Devil is Real certainly says a lot about what you're fighting. The nice thing about video games is that they're easy to view out of context. We don't tend to think about whether or not something like anti-Semitism was on the rise when the game was designed. So, when we look at Doom 3, we see that the science base is operating with near infinite funds, and on the outskirts of morality, we start to question the role of government. The government apparently can't stop the events from unfolding, and the fact that you play a Marine in the quest to save the world is of equal relevance. When hell and all its associations come up and the institutions of the world fall one by one, science and government, etc., it is left only to the military to uphold the peace. Or perhaps to draw on Jung's archetypes. It is the motif of a hero to hold these things back. We've not got our out-of-context message either way. Heroes or the military, backing the government is what saves humanity from hell. What does that mean once we put it back into the proper context? Well, I think that depends on whether we go for the hero or the military option. If you want to view your character as a hero, well, that's one thing, but you can also view it as a representative of the military. You're either a one-man hero or you're a badass Marine. You know? So it all depends on which path you want to go with. I'd probably be able to narrow this down more if I'd actually played the game, but it scares the shit out of me. If you choose the military, it would mean the game is trying to tell us that the government is a figurehead. They are a bureaucracy with a lot of fancy words and regulations, but in the end, never get anything real done. It's basically trying to say that anybody who supports the government are the only people that the government can rule. So, anybody outside the government really isn't under the government's power. Instead, it is the military, the Marines, risking their lives that keep humanity safe from hell and its sins of an uncultured and barbaric existence. Important to note here that hell and the devil and all this that's coming up really represent the, I guess, I don't want to say the 7 deadly sins because that's kind of cliche, but really, any bad traits or bad aspects of humanity, that's what it represents, I think. If you were to follow the hero path, it would mean that science progresses for its own sake. Government governs only what elected it, and inevitably humanity would fall if it were not for those rare individuals who keep strong and surpass all our odds in securing the safety of not just a race of humans, per se, but their humanity as well. So it's not just heroes able to go out to the front line, beat the bad guys down. It's really, okay, it is that, but it's also people who can inspire this in other people. People who will be able to stop their friend from being an alcoholic. Stuff like that. That's what the hero represents. This entire review, however, was made at 5:30 in the morning without sleep and without planning. Also, I've never played through Doom 3 before, so I hardly know what I'm talking about. The farthest I've ever gotten, well, in the beginning of Doom 3, there are no monsters. You first have to go and rescue a scientist, and as soon as you rescue him, all hell breaks loose and the entire base is under attack. Your first objective is to get back to base. I've never gotten back to base. I've gotten close, but no. Freaks me out, holy shit. Anyways, that is what this channel is going to be about. Going to be reviews like that, but to a greater extent from video games. One I'm thinking about right now is bad guys. Your bad guy, your antagonist, your whatever, who is apparently inherently evil, but their entire motive is survival. So, like Morgana in .hack, or Shiro Tagachi in Guild Wars Factions. Anyways, this is Mage signing off. Please subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I can hold your interest.